Welcome back, guys, to Folk Football. Very early morning. I say very early morning. It's 8:30. It's like 8:45. Just finished watching the F1. So you know what time it is? It's time to talk about Steve Clarke and Scotland. Welcome back to the channel. Right, we lead 1-0. Was the game in Athens? It might have been anyway. Let's just say we lead 1-0 for Athens. And honestly, there's probably about a million other things I'd rather be doing this morning than previewing this game. But here we are, alright? Here we are, talking about it. I think it'll be a better game than what we've seen on Thursday. You know what I mean? I mean, put it this way, in terms of a spectacle, it can't be much worse. I mean, I think the first half was alright, but second half, man. Stevie Clarke. I think it just goes to show you though, because like, see if this was like a European game, you know, like last 16, and it was your team or something, or Champions League, and you won 1-0 like that, you wouldn't give a shit. But I don't know, man. I just feel like Greece, or I'm not going to say bog standard, because they are a good team, but and it's not just us saying this, but a lot of our players, right? A lot of which are in their primes, you know what I mean? Like McTominay, McGinn, guys like that. They're not going to get any younger. It's just like a really putrid style of football. But here, if it wins, it wins. It's the sort of thing where if you get beat tonight playing that way, it's like, oh my god, Steve Clarke, he needs to go, etc, etc. But if you win, it's like, who cares? But anyway, let's move into tonight, shall we? Less about Thursday, more about Sunday, and Ryan Christie returns. So, Ryan Christie returning to the starting 11. I'd bet my bottom dollar on it, to be honest, because he was suspended for the first game. He didn't get picked in the squad for one game just to play 2 minutes, even though you could argue, well, there's two goalkeepers that are getting no minutes across 2 games. Oh yeah. I mean, that's a very true statement though. So, I think Kenny McLean will come out, and I think Ryan Christie will come in, and I think that's the correct decision from Clarke. I'd like to see Lennon Miller get some minutes, and I don't sound like a broken record talking about the Lennon Miller's minutes. And good news, I think I've escaped the win, so Lennon Miller we can talk about in peace. I mean, he didn't even get a minute. We've seen Hurst come on, Max Johnson, etc, etc. I mean, I think the starting 11 will look, Jesus, where's that wind came from, man? That's nearly knocked me off my feet. Anyway, I think it'll pretty much be the exact same 11, apart from Ryan Christie over Kenny McLean. But it's like, see if we're winning like 2-0, right? And it gets to like the 75th minute, and he brings on Kenny McLean instead of Lennon Miller. You're going to sit in there and be thinking, what are you doing, man? But in terms of Che Adams, I think he'll start up front. All we lack, folks, is an actual goal scorer. You know what I mean? I know it's frustrating, right? Absolutely. See Lawrence Shankland, I don't think he should be in the Scotland team at the minute, because he's kind of been transformed into a 10. And there was one place we don't really need in the Scotland team is, like, you know, midfield. So I totally understand it. But see last season, right, when Shankland was on fire, folks, you know what I mean, the amount of goals he scored for Hearts, it was absolutely brain dead for Clarke not to be starting Shankland in way more games and giving him more minutes. You know what I mean? Like, going into the Euros, he should have been the number one and the only one. He should have been starting every single match, but he didn't. And he should have been starting the build-up matches, but he didn't, because he was on fire for Hearts. You know what I mean? And obviously right now he's shite, but I don't know what it is, like, I mean, and it's the same with Craig Gordon, man. See, the fact that Craig Gordon's now starting games, but he didn't even get to the World Cup, the Euros, it's an absolute disgrace. Honestly, man, I've got a question what the hell goes through Clarke's skull, to be honest. He's a bit of an imbecile. But anyway, enough ranting on Steve Clarke. What am I going to give this game? What's the score I'm going to be? I mean, I think the crucial thing is, even a draw would do. You know, there is no, I guess, small defeat window that Rangers had, against Fenerbahce. You can't get beat 2-1 or 1-0 here. It simply is. You cannot lose, or else, I mean, I guess it could force extra time. And I think the funny thing about that is, it's like, I'm not saying we don't care about this game, right? But there's friendlies going on. There is actual World Cup qualifiers going on that I did not know about. Like Wales had one last night. Sure there was other teams playing, but well, Tierney was playing. I know that they were against Faroe Islands in the 1-2-1. But it's just a weird time for international football, isn't it? Like, not in terms of the time of the year, but friendlies, qualifiers, and Nations Leagues all kind of rammed into fucking one. I don't know, folks. A wee bit weird to me. Anyway, I'm going to go Scotland to win. I'm going to go 2-1 because, you know, I think we can hold our hands up and admit that we were a bit lucky in the first leg not to concede. I think Greece will score, but hopefully it's a good wee performance and we get the job done. So, yeah, leave your thoughts down below. We'll be back later for it. I'm sure there'll be, well, I said I'm sure there'll be. Let's pray there's some news in between now and then.